Today's topic is what is VPC, Virtual Private Cloud, what are key aspects of VPC, what are key components of VPC explained, how does VPC work, comparing Security Group versus NACL. Watch this video completely to have better understanding of this topic. Think of VPC as your own private, fenced off section of massive public cloud like AWS, etc. So VPC is like a personalized land of yours which you buy from an AWS. If AWS is a world, VPCs are a land you buy to build your infrastructure or cloud. What are key aspects of VPC? Isolation, control, security, scalability, hybrid or disaster recovery. VPCs creates a private segment network within the public cloud, keeping your resources separate from other tenants. As the name says, virtual private. Private means you have your own isolation of your private cloud, where other users will not be able to access your public cloud. Control. You define and control your own IP address ranges, subnets, route tables, and network gateways. VPCs provides infrastructure and lets the users control their own IP addresses, subnets, and route tables and network gateways. It gives users fine-grained access and fine-grained control over their own infrastructure, giving them rules, security for them to decide how much and which traffic is allowed to enter their VPCs. Security enables fine-grained access and controls the security policies, providing a secure space for sensitive workloads. VPCs provide several NACL policies as well as security groups to give you security, and also AWS has its own security as on-premise infrastructure, data center security. Scalability leverages the public cloud ability to scale resources on demand. So it lets users scale their own public cloud. Disaster recovery or hybrid. It can be used to replicate on-premise infrastructure for redundancy and supporting business continuity. AWS provides the data center and the security of on-premise infrastructure. It means that you don't have to manage your own data center and its security. AWS takes care of that. The analogy would be your own private city. If you imagine public cloud is a giant empty continent, when you create a VPC, you are claiming a specific plot of land and building your own private city. You decide who can enter, where the roads go, and which neighborhoods are private. What are key components of VPC? VPC is like a city limits. What it does, the overall boundary and private network space. Subnets are like neighborhoods, smaller sections of your own network used to group similar things together. IP range or CIDR notations are like street addresses, the ranges of numbers or addresses available to assign to your house's servers. Internet gateway is like the main highway, the front door that connects your city to the rest of the world, the internet. Route tables. These are like the GPS or road signs, a set of rules that tells data which road to take to get to its destination. Security group. These are like the personal bodyguard, a firewall that sits right at the door of your server to check who can enter. NACL. These are like the border checkpoint, a firewall that sits at the entrance of a whole neighborhood or a subnet. So now how does a VPC work? When someone from the internet tries to access a website hosted on a VPC, the traffic follows a specific path. The entrance, the request arrives at the internet gateway, which is like the front door. Second, the map. The route table looks at the request and says, you are looking for the web server, take the road to the public subnet. The perimeter check. Before entering that neighborhood subnet, the NACL checks if the visitor's IP address is on the allowed list. If it is not on the allowed list, then the access is denied. The final guard. Once inside the neighborhood, the security group, the bodyguard, standing at the server door, does one final check to see if the visitor is allowed to talk to that specific server. If the user is not allowed or is denied, then the access is also denied. The response. The server sends the data back because security groups are stateful. They remember who they let in. The bodyguard automatically lets the response out without checking again. In my previous videos in the playlist, I have already explained what would be subnets and IP CIDR range. You can watch those videos to have the understanding of those concepts. However, in this video, as I haven't explained Internet Gateway, Route Table, Security Group, NACL, I will do that. Internet Gateway. The Internet Gateway is like the front door of your VPC. Without it, your city or your VPC is completely cut off from the rest of the world. It provides a target in your VPC route tables for Internet routable traffic. It performs NAT for instances, allowing them to communicate with the Internet using a public IP address. One VPC can have only one Internet gateway. Route table. A route table is a set of rules called routes that tells data packets where to go. Every subnet in the VPC needs a map or a route to know how to reach other neighborhoods or the highway. When a packet leaves a server, the route table looks at the destination IP. If the destination is 0.0.0.0/0, the whole internet, the road sign points it towards the internet gateway. Local route. Every VPC has a local route that allows the subnets to talk to each other by default. Public versus private. A subnet becomes public simply by adding a route to the internet gateway in its route table. NACL or Network Access Control List. NACL is the first line of defense or a firewall. It sits at the boundary of a subnet. It checks everyone entering or leaving the entire area. It is stateless. It means if they let someone in, NACL forgets them immediately. You must also have a rule to let them out. Numbered rules. It processes rules in order such as rule 100 or rule 200. As soon as it finds a match, it stops looking. Allow and deny. Unlike security groups, you can specifically deny a specific IP address. Security groups. A security group acts like a firewall for your instance. The specific house server. It is the most granular level of security. If you allow guests in, the bodyguard or the security group remembers them. They are automatically allowed to leave without you writing a separate exit rule. Allow only. You can only create allow rules. If there isn't a rule for a specific type of traffic, it is denied by default. Instance level. You can have bodyguards or security groups for different houses even if they are in the same neighborhood. Comparison between security groups and NACL. Security groups protects individual servers or instances. NACL protects entire neighborhood or subnets. Groups are stateful. It remembers incoming traffic. NACLs are stateless. It needs a separate out rules. Security group supports allow rules only. NACL supports allow and deny rules. Security group evaluates all rules before deciding. NACL evaluates rules in numerical order. VPC. So to conclude, VPC is like a city and it has a main entrance that is internet gateway that gives an access to the public or the users all over the world to enter your city, and to reach each houses located in the city there must be a route table or routes, and each house has its own security. So there exists NACL that acts as an entrance for subnet, and security group acts as a personal bodyguard. Security group acts like a firewall for the instance. So that was a video for today. I hope I made the topic insightful and simple. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, share your thoughts in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.